because it's okay. So these questions do start off quite hard. Question 1 is quite hard already, but and it is harder than you would if you did a mock paper. You would find question 1 was easier than what we're seeing here. This question 1. So these are quite hard. So anyway, let's look at it. -5 minus. So we wanted to see what value that was. We found out it was -8. And the reason for that is because we're trying to say what number would be minus -5 to give a negative number. Well, what we want to, so we want to imagine that we are at -3, and we're going to, well, what is minusing a -5? It's the same as adding 5. So we can imagine what number would I have to add 5 to get to -3? And the number would be -8. So we start off at -8. We're going to add 5, which is the same as minusing -5, and that will get us to -3. That's how we realized that this number was -8. There is another way to do this, which is rearranging. Well, we can look at that in a moment. So then the second one, -5, we're going to minus a number to get to -3. Well, -3 is actually more positive than -5. So usually if you minus a number from a negative number, it becomes more negative. So that's how we realized we must be minusing a negative number. So we drew a little number line out here. We've got -5. To get up to -3, we'll have to add 2. But adding 2 is the same as taking away -2. Just the same way as that adding 5 is the same as taking away -5. So adding 2 is the same as taking away -2. Yeah, and that's how we realize that this is -2. Now I'm just going to briefly explain the other way of doing it. We can imagine these boxes were algebra letters. So x minus -5 is equal to -3. What we're going to do is we're going to do something to both sides, and what we're going to do is we're going to add -5. So in other words, we add -5, and that would cancel this one out, and then 3 plus -5 is just going to be -8. So we've got that there. And same, that was A. It's difficult. It's a bit of a weird way to think about it, but if you okay with your algebra, this video will make sense. Otherwise, we might need to work on algebra a little bit. So the next one, B, then we've got -5 minus, well, again, we'll say x is equal to -3. I say -5 sometimes, I say -3 the other times, negative minus, we can think of the same thing, sort of. So what we're going to do to rearrange this time, well, we've got a negative x, which is an issue, but first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to add 5 to both sides. That will give us -x is equal to -3 add 5. We could do a whole lesson on rearranging equations at some point, if we feel like need to, because it is a bit tricky. So then -x is equal to, -3 plus 5 is just going to be 2. -x is equal to 2. Therefore, x is equal to -2. And that's what we got. Okay?